like Sonic, so glad to have you again on board. Missed us, didn't you? Yeah, I know you did. We know you want it. Today, we're going to be talking about how to use social media in business, and not just... You ever notice this? You got a Facebook account, right? Everybody's got on Earth has a Facebook account, except maybe somebody in Uganda. You go to your Facebook account, and there is 785 messages in your Facebook account. Well, it's a little overwhelming, don't you think? Because as soon as somebody posts something, you feel kind of obligated to reply to a post, and then somebody else replies to that post, and now you're intertwined with 5 or 6 people that you don't even know, that somehow you have just clicked on, yeah, I'll be your friend, click, and you have this huge beast, this huge monster that you have to tame. And I think what's going to happen is, as people take a look at Facebook, and the structure of Facebook, and then they compare it to Google+, which has just hit the market for a lot of people. I got an invitation to Google+ last week, and I've been playing with it. Exceptional program. Because with Google+, you put people in a circle. There are certain circles or groups that you can put them in. So say, for example, I have a whole bunch of family members. We've got about, my goodness, Christmas time comes around, we can have 75 people over the house. Yeah, don't get me started. So I can put a whole bunch of family members in one circle, and then I can have my work circle and click and drag a whole bunch of people from my contacts into that circle, and then I can have my business circle, specific business circle, and drag a whole bunch of people in that. And you can have overlapping circles where this person can be part of the family and part of the friends, and if he does business with you, part of that circle. So I think you're going to find that social media is going to change, but today specifically, I want to talk to you about using Twitter for your business. It's really, really exciting. And you know, I think Twitter often gets lost because it is not as sophisticated as Facebook. You can't do a lot that you can do in Facebook. Now, Facebook just recently announced that they're going to do Skype, and that's going to give them more of a video social angle. And you know what? Here's what I think. I think the smart businesses, the smart marketers are going to jump on this Skype thing in Facebook like you would not believe. Hey, listen, if you own a business and you want to handle customer concerns or complaints or get the word out about your business, if you had a camera at your business and a microphone and a headset or a pair of speakers and had a PR person or one of your employees sit down there and go face-to-face with people when they phone in, go Skype it, I'll tell you what, that puts a human face to the phone call, doesn't it? And I think you're going to find more and more businesses are going to do this. They're going to use Skype to answer questions, to answer concerns. Because I don't know about you, but I feel a whole lot better if I can see a human voice and I can watch their expressions and I can see what they're doing instead of just listening to them on the phone. So I think that's going to be a really exciting dynamic that businesses are going to grab onto and run with. And get this, Google+, the new service by Google, will support up to 10 people at a time talking in the video chat room. Now that is going to just be fantastic. So let's get back to the show, and I want to talk to you about Twitter exclusively because I want to break social media down into little bite-sized chunks so we can talk about Twitter one show, and then we can talk about Facebook the next show, and Google Plus the next show, and LinkedIn the next show, and MySpace the next show, and Orkut the next show. And so it's not so overwhelming because people can get really overwhelmed with technology. As I'm sure you've noticed yourself. You go into your email program and think, I went into my email program the other day, over 2,000 emails. I would have to have 39 hours in a 24-hour day to do all the technical stuff that I really, really want to do. Anyway, Twitter. What makes Twitter so special and what makes it so dynamic, and why should you be using it in your business? I'll tell you why. I've only got 17 points. One, it's free. Now, be honest with me, really honest. If you know somebody that has a small, medium, or large-sized business, so let's take a medium or large-sized business, and you sit them down and you say, be truthful with me, how many thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars do you spend advertising in the yellow pages? Advertising on bus stops, advertising on coffee cups, advertising on chocolate chip cookies, advertising on posters, on billboards. The companies are spending a horrendous amount of money when it's not necessary. If you took their budget and then took their budget and put it into social media, they would get miles more dynamic results from their marketing campaign. Don't underestimate free. Free is really good. I mean, look at all the apps for the iPhone and Twitter, for the iPhone and Android marketplace you can get for free. They're really good apps. So that was number one reason. It is free. That's why you should use Twitter. Number two, it creates excitement. Nobody can deny that. Say, for example, oops, look at this. Oh, horrendous. I have to get a better system. And I do not like these huge filters. I like nice little delicate filters. So if somebody knows a pop filter that is not so monstrous and comes in like a 3-foot wide version, let me know, would you? It has to fit these microphones, though. They are Audio-Technica 2050 ATs. Side boom microphone. Anyway, so it creates excitement. Now, say, for example, you've got a personal Twitter account, and you've got maybe 25, 30 friends. If you turn that into a business account, instantly you may have 25 or 30 eyeballs looking at your product. It's one thing to talk to a couple of people around a water cooler when you're networking, and let's face it, everybody networks. I mean, okay, so the guys come into work and they're standing around the coffee machine or the water cooler, and one guy says, man, I really like those mags you got for the car out in the parking lot. Where'd you get them? Oh, I got them at Lord Cole or wherever you got them. Same with women. I mean, women are standing around in a group and they say, I love the shoes in the handbag. Where did you get them? Oh, I got them at Nordstrom or wherever. So we network every single day. Now, in those kind of situations, talking around the water cooler, you may mention that fact. I got the mags or I got the shoes and handbag to 3 or 4 people, and only 3 or 4 people hear you. But if you mention it on Twitter and you've got 1,000 people, 1,000 eyeballs have looked at that tweet and said, I wonder if I shouldn't try their product. And you know as well as I do, if you get a product into a hand of a consumer and they like it and they're satisfied with the service and they're satisfied with the product, they don't want to leave. They actually end up defending that product. You'd have to almost pry it away from their cold, dead fingers. So the trick is to use Twitter to get your product into the hands of consumers. And that leads us to our third point. Pretty good segue, huh? Number 3, use social media to advertise your business. Why are we using social media on a personal level? And don't be ashamed to use it to advertise your personal business. Hey, listen, everybody understands business. It's how we eat, it's how we sleep, it's how we breathe, it's how we pay bills, it's how the economy runs. If you're not in business, what are you doing? If you work, you go to work. If you either work for someone, they're in business. And if you own your own business, you're in business for yourself. So the whole economy revolves around business in one form or another. My dad said to his stockbroker one day, he said, Barry, money isn't everything, you know. And Barry laughed and he chuckled and he said, yeah, Lawrence, try living without it for a year. You know, go down to BC Hydro and say, listen, I'd like to wash your vans for a couple of days and just don't charge me my electric bill. See how popular you are. They'll be shutting off your lights pretty quick. Okay, so that was number 4. You can use it to target a specific market. Now, this is really important. For example, if you're a food vendor, and let me back up and tell you a really exciting story. Okay, so this is 2011, and in 2008, the economy took a dive everywhere, Canada, the United States, and there were some brilliant chefs that spent loads of money, tens of thousands of dollars, going out and getting their professional training to become chefs. And their dream was to open up a restaurant. So these people, guys and gals, they would open up a restaurant because they were chefs, and that's what they wanted to do. That was their life dream. So I've heard it said that if you have to pay your first year's wages for yourself, for your staff, for your leases, for your rent, for your equipment, for your food, for all that kind of stuff, cost about $250,000. So that's a big chunk of change. And after you pay to go to chef school, you might have to pay $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 in loans just to become a chef, a really good chef. So by the time you buy this restaurant, you're into it for $300,000, $350,000, $400,000. That's a lot of money. Well, the economy, 2008 came along, the recession hit, and hit big time in a lot of restaurants, especially restaurants, because it's a cutthroat business. They went under. They lost their shirt. But they still had these brilliant chefs. Well, what are they going to do? Some of the enterprising chefs in San Francisco, I believe, went out and they bought trucks, like 3-ton step van trucks, put some cookers in it. They had to be licensed by the city, of course. And now these same entrepreneurs, these same brilliant chefs, were making wonderful meals from a mobile platform, from a truck. And what they would do is they would Twitter, so they would get a big following. They would make a specialty sandwich or something, and it was just all the rage, and they would Twitter about it. And they would say, we will be at the corner of such and such at such and such a time. Be there, and we'll have this is our daily special. So they would tweet their menu on Twitter. By the time they got down there, they were sold out within an hour, and it was wildly successful, and it still is wildly successful. And we're starting to see that same trend happen in Vancouver. But they're using social media right. They're using Twitter to target specific markets. So that is number 4. You can use it to target a specific market. Just think of all the power in Twitter. It's like you can concentrate your marketing department like a laser beam for free. Number 5. Gets your own unique brand noticed. How do you think Coca-Cola, Nike, Chevy, Ford, GM, how do you think all these companies get their brand out there? They get the brand out there as continuously as many times as they can and hope something sticks. But remember now, they're paying for advertising. This is free. They have to spend millions and billions of dollars on the hope that you're going to see the ad, enjoy the ad, and want to enjoy their product. But with Twitter, it's all free. So number 6, and this I'm getting really excited when I talk about using technology in a business situation. Number 6, it keeps your clients updated with the newest info. So say, for example, you are about to market the next greatest thing. And you say to yourself, well, what are we going to do? Okay, I know, we'll go out and buy market research. But you have to pay these guys like $10,000, $20,000 to sit in a mall with a little booth for a month. And whatever consumer happens to walk by, they'll say, oh, do you want a sample of this? And you'll sample of this. And then they collect the data and they hand it to you, and you're stuck with a big bill. Well, here's my opinion. If you use Twitter and say, who wants a free product of this particular product? Who wants a free sample? It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to pay a marketing board or anything, and you get results right away. See, that is a two-way street. Marketing people get to talk to that customer once, and then they go away. But with Twitter, that same customer that enjoyed your product first, we can come back time and time again and say, listen, I think you should be doing improvements this way, and I think you should change the product this way, and I think the coloring should be this way, and I think the box shape should be this way. Hey, that's very, very helpful information to help you design your own brand, your own logo, to find out what is more popular and drive your business more profitable. So it keeps your client updated with the newest info. Number 7. Allows you to creatively test alternative forms of marketing. Because it's free on Twitter, you can come up with 4 or 5 different marketing schemes. Test them over several months. For example, one marketing scheme could be tested over a 2-week period. So you could take 6 schemes and test them in a 3-month period, and it doesn't cost you a penny. Try going to the Yellow Pages and say, do you mind giving me free advertising for 6 months in the Yellow Pages for free? They'll say, yeah, you must be enjoying our wonderful BC bud that is all around. Number 8, creates a sense of urgency. So these guys in San Francisco with these food trucks are driving around, and they'll say, we're going to be here, and then we're gone. We're going to be here for an hour or 2, and then we're on to the next place. And they have a unique following. People will wait for them for an hour just to get there, to get their food. It creates, not only that, but it creates a sense of urgency. I think it's just wonderful the way they do that. Number 9. It will allow you to partner up with other businesses. So, for example, if you, and I'm using the analogy of a food truck. So I own a food truck, I've done my homework, I've got a great menu, I've Twittered about it. now I'm looking at, it's hot and it's summertime, and I'm looking at maybe getting some refreshing drinks, some really cold drinks. So I go to people that that are in that business, and I say, hey, listen, why don't you come aboard and I will sell your drinks and I will put a sign on my truck. We can advertise that way, and when I Twitter, I'll advertise my business and your business, and we can work out a deal with the product. So you're combining products to get more dynamic business as well and drive profits. I'm a big believer in never doing business alone or in a vacuum. We all should partner up to have complements to what we're doing and what we're selling as well. I love what Zig Ziglar said. He said, you can always get what you want by helping enough people get what they want. It works for me. All right, so number 9 will allow you to partner up with other businesses. You know what? We could do a whole show on allowing you to partner up with other businesses. And just think of all the possibilities. Okay, so you've got drinks. You may be able to sell, I don't know, tickets, events out of the van. You could sell gift certificates for food out of that van. There's a whole bunch of things you can do. So number 10, it encourages feedback about your product. And when I was talking about the two-way street, if you stop somebody in the middle of the street, give them a sample, say you got 500 people, give 250 a sample, you might get 10% to buy, okay? So that's 25 people. And they will go away, and out of those 25 people, maybe half of them will fall off and they won't buy your product again. Aha! But numbers is about your product. What happens is if you're with Twitter and they really love the product, they will let you know. If they don't like the product, they will let you know. So you don't disconnect from the customer. You keep them as a marketing partner, if you will, because you can Twitter them and say, hey, haven't seen you or haven't heard from you for a little while. What's up? And they will give you dialogue. People, you know what? Nobody likes to sell, but everybody likes to buy, right? Nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody likes to buy. So it's that kind of analogy. I really like the two-way communication that Twitter sets up between the client and the business. It's very, very powerful. Number 11, piggybacking with Facebook and Google+. Okay, so you got your Twitter account and you got it all set up. You've done your homework. You know what you're all about. You got a great menu. You tweet that out there. You're getting followers every week because word of mouth sells and word of mouth spreads. Now you can link your Twitter account to your Facebook account and your Gmail account or your email account and your web space. So, for example, if you're doing something really, really exciting, put a link in Twitter. Oops, I dropped my pen. Put a link inside Twitter to your web page. Now, on your web page, you can have videos, you can have how-to videos, you can have testimonials from customers. Do you know how important and how dynamic a video testimonial is for a customer? And that all will come from your Twitter source. Number 12, engage your client in a two-way dialogue instead of a boring newspaper ads. Newspaper are one-way. It's a one-way valve. But doing Twitter is two-way, constant communication. And then you can use the Twitter account and fill that database with your customers. Hey, listen, you can go global on this. Number 13, makes your company an educational resource. Okay, say for example, you've got your food truck. And people are really concerned about nutrition. Is this bad for my arteries? Is this sodium content too high in this particular product? Well, you can put a nutritional table up there, and people will say, you know what? I want less sodium. That's an indicator. You don't have to pay a marketing department for that. They will tell you on Twitter. So you cut your sodium in half, and you find more creative ways to make the taste stay the same while lowering sodium. Now you've attracted a whole other crowd, health-conscious crowd, that wants a product with less sodium, that wants a healthier product. Now, some people insist, say they want a poutine, they want more gravy, they want more curds, cheese curds, they want more fat. Hey, they'll let you know. But if you don't have that dynamic feedback with your customer, you'll never know. And you just can't get that now out of a newspaper ad. When's the last time somebody phoned you up from a newspaper ad when you were advertising your business and say, hey, just wanted to let you know, I love your product, or, hey, just wanted to let you know that your product stinks, da-da-da-da. That very rarely happens. But with Twitter, it'll happen almost constantly. Alrighty, number 14, multiple people or divisions can join in and share different points of view. Hey, if you own a business, you have a point of view. And it's really helpful to have your staff behind you do some tweeting as well, because not everybody's the same. If everybody's the same, we'd all be driving Fords. So your staff contribute to their point of view and connect with your business pool or your potential customers, and then what that does is also it goes to number 13 again, makes it an educational resource. The more people you help and educate, the more valuable your company becomes. Number 15, establishes credible business links within your own local community and allows you to compete on a global basis. Now, here's a really neat thing. I was at a business the other day. It was a printing company. And on the front of their building, they had a sign and they had a QR code. I don't know if you're familiar with QR codes. They're called quick reference codes. And they're black and white and they look like a whole bunch of jumbled stuff. But you take a picture of that with an iPhone or an Android device, any smartphone, and it will scan it and it will send you to their webpage. What a brilliant idea. Right in front. So a lot of people, if you don't have a business card, if you've got that QR code on the side of your truck, on your business cards, on shirts that employees are wearing, on posters, on plaques, a lot of people are getting smartphones now. So they're using that technology, and people love to play with technology. So QR codes are very, very important. You watch. QR codes are really going to become more and more user-based and friendly as the smartphone market opens up. So, number 16, you can offer special limited time deals. Again, it creates urgency, doesn't it? This deal is only going to be on the table for 4 hours. So then you can also test market that particular product in a time constraint and see how well it does. If it doesn't do well, you know, okay, you're going to have to extend that timeline for maybe 2 days. And number 17, it's fun. You know, once you get used to working with technology, you kind of become addicted to it. And I mean, let me put it this way. How many of you go home and check your email at night? I do religiously. Technology has made our lives so much easier in so many more respects. I mean, how many of you do online banking? I'll bet you the majority now of people do online banking. How many people of you that pay bills on the internet? Here we go. How many people get paid, their payroll deposited through the banking system automatically? You don't get a check. Here we go. That's technology at work. So my feeling is, my opinion is, if we don't start using this technology, shame on us, because it's there. And some really smart entrepreneurs are using it, and they are wildly successful. So this is Rick Haaland for eFlexonics. I thought I would give you a little bit of a show about Twitter and how important it is to use Twitter in your business. Now, if you want to make a comment on the show, just send us an email request at eflexonics@gmail.com, or use our Magic Jack number. And if you want to, Magic Jack, I love Magic Jack. I did a podcast probably 6 months ago, and you should take a look at it on eFlexonics by Magic Jack. It's just one of the best things for business. Our Magic Jack number is 778-800-0246. So if you like the show or didn't like the show, give us a comment. And if you have any suggestions or any other inquiries about Twitter, send them to us, and we'll be able to hopefully answer all of your questions. Until next time, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rick Haaland for eFlexonics, stay safe, and keep using technology. See you next show. Bye-bye. Take care.